you keep getting hurt. Not once. Repeatedly. Different people. Different situations. Same pain. Betrayal. Rejection. Disappointment. Abandonment. Over and over. And you think, why does this keep happening to me? Why do people keep hurting me? Here's Machiavelli's most ruthless lesson. People aren't hurting you. You're hurting yourself. By giving people power over your emotional state. By making your well-being dependent on their behavior. By investing emotionally in people who haven't earned that investment. The harsh reality is, you can't control whether people betray, reject, or disappoint you. But you can control whether their betrayal, rejection, or disappointment destroys you. And if it destroys you, that's not their power. That's power you gave them. Machiavelli called this potere emotivo concesso, granted emotional power. And he observed, people only hurt you as much as you've allowed them to matter. That's the ruthless lesson. Not about making people treat you better. About stopping them from having the power to destroy you when they don't. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you this lesson completely. Why you keep getting hurt, how you're giving away emotional power, and what to do to never be hurt this deeply again. Not by becoming cold, by becoming strategically protected. Let me show you the lesson. Here's the lesson in its most ruthless form. You get hurt because you give people emotional power over you before they've proven they deserve it. You invest before they've earned investment. You care before they've demonstrated they're worth caring about. You make yourself vulnerable to people who haven't shown they'll protect that vulnerability. And then, when they hurt you, which was always possible, always probable, you blame them. They hurt me. They betrayed me. They're bad people. But Machiavelli would ask, why did you give them the power to hurt you in the first place? That's the ruthless part. Most people don't want to hear this, because it feels like victim blaming. Are you saying it's my fault they hurt me? Not fault. Responsibility. You're not responsible for their behavior. You are responsible for how much power their behavior has over your emotional state. Let me break this down completely. The mechanism of being hurt. Here's how emotional hurt actually works. Someone does something, betrays, rejects, disappoints. That's their action. You don't control their action, but their action only hurts you to the degree you've invested emotionally in them, to the degree you've made their approval, presence, or behavior necessary for your well-being. If someone you don't care about betrays you, you're not hurt. You're indifferent. Okay, they betrayed me. Whatever. They weren't important to me anyway. If someone you deeply care about betrays you, you're devastated. Same action. Different emotional investment. Different hurt level. That's investimento cum vulnerabilità. Investment as vulnerability. The more you invest emotionally in someone, the more power they have to hurt you. The investment creates the vulnerability. Machiavelli understood. Vulnerability is granted, not taken. You give people power over you through emotional investment. Without that investment, they're powerless to hurt you significantly. The pattern of repeated hurt. So why do you keep getting hurt repeatedly? Because you keep making the same mistake. Premature investment. You meet someone. Connection feels good. And you immediately invest heavily. Emotionally. Psychologically. You start caring deeply. Making them important. Making their opinion matter. Making their presence necessary. You do this before they've proven they're trustworthy. Before they've demonstrated loyalty. Before they've earned that level of investment. You invest based on potential, on hope, on how it feels initially. That's investimento prematuro, premature investment. And it's why you keep getting hurt. Because when you invest before someone's proven themselves, you're vulnerable to them before you know if they'll protect that vulnerability. You've given them power when you don't yet know how they'll use it. And some people use it well. Some people honor your investment, but some people exploit it, betray it, discard it. You can't know which type someone is at the beginning. That's revealed over time, through behavior, through how they respond to your trust, through pattern demonstration. But if you've already invested heavily before the pattern is revealed, you're already vulnerable, already hurt when the pattern turns out to be harmful. Real talk. This was my pattern for decades. I'd meet someone, feel connection, and immediately invest everything. Make them important. Make their approval matter. Make their presence necessary, all within days or weeks. And then when they inevitably hurt me, because I didn't know if they were safe yet, I'd be devastated. Because I'd given them massive emotional power before they'd earned it. I kept blaming them. Why do people keep hurting me? But Machiavelli's ruthless lesson is, I kept hurting myself by giving unproven people power over my emotional state. Why this feels wrong. Here's why this lesson feels ruthless. Why people resist it. Because it sounds like, don't trust anyone, don't care about anyone, don't invest in anyone. And that sounds cold, cynical, like becoming emotionally closed. But that's misunderstanding the lesson. Machiavelli isn't saying don't invest. He's saying don't invest before investment is earned. Don't make people important before they've proven they'll honor that importance. Don't give power before you know how it will be used. That's investimento gradual, graduated investment. You can still care deeply, still invest emotionally, still be vulnerable. Just do it proportionally to what people have proven they deserve, not what you hope they deserve. The ruthless truth is, most people will hurt you if given the chance and if it serves them. Not because they're evil, because they're human. Humans are self-interested. They prioritize themselves. And if hurting you serves them, many will do it. You can't change that. That's human nature. What you can change is how much power they have to hurt you. And you control that through how much you invest before they've proven they're different from the average person who will hurt you when it serves them. The lesson applied. Here's what the ruthless lesson looks like in practice. You meet someone, connection feels good. Your impulse is to invest heavily immediately. Don't. Hold back. Keep investment proportional to what they've actually demonstrated. They're kind once, they get mild investment, not deep investment. One instance of kindness doesn't prove pattern. They're consistent over weeks. Investment increases slightly. Consistency over short periods suggests possible reliability. They're consistent over months. Investment increases more. Extended pattern suggests character, not performance. They're consistent over years. Full investment becomes reasonable. Years of pattern proves character reliably. That's verifica attraverso tempo, verification through time. Investment matches proven pattern, not hoped for potential. And here's what this protects you from. If someone hurts you after 1 week and you've only invested lightly, you're barely hurt. Minor disappointment, not devastation. Because they never had much power over you. If someone hurts you after years of proven trustworthiness, you're hurt more deeply. But that pain is justified because they earned investment and violated it. That's betrayal of earned trust. But most hurt comes from the first scenario. People who never earned deep investment but received it anyway, and then used or discarded it. That's the hurt you're eliminating with graduated investment. Machiavelli's principle: potere proporzionale, proportional power. Give people emotional power proportional to what they've proven they deserve. Not more. Never more. That's the ruthless lesson. You stop getting hurt deeply by stopping the practice of giving deep emotional power to unproven people. Not by becoming closed, by becoming strategically open. Open in proportion to earned trust. Protected until trust is earned. So why do you keep making this mistake? Why do you keep investing prematurely and granting emotional power before it's earned? 4 reasons, and understanding them is how you stop repeating the pattern. Reason 1. You mistake intensity for depth. The first reason, you confuse emotional intensity with relationship depth. Someone makes you feel intensely, and you interpret that as deep connection. So you invest deeply. But intensity isn't depth. Intensity is just strong feeling. Can come from genuine connection. Can also come from manipulation, from love bombing, from intermittent reinforcement, from your own attachment wounds being triggered. Machiavelli observed this constantly. Intensità ingannevole, deceptive intensity. Feeling strong doesn't mean connection is real or person is trustworthy. Just means nervous system is activated. But you interpret intensity as signal to invest. This feels so strong, it must be real. So you grant emotional power based on intensity, before pattern is proven. And then, when pattern reveals itself as harmful, you're already deeply invested, already vulnerable, already hurt. The correction. Recognize that intensity is information about your nervous system, not information about the other person's character or trustworthiness. Character is revealed through time and pattern, not through intensity. Reason 2. You want connection so badly you skip verification. The second reason, your desire for connection overrides your discernment. You want connection so desperately that you don't verify if this person is safe to connect with. You just connect. Hope it works out. That's desiderio sopra prudenza, desire over prudence. Wanting something so much that you don't assess whether it's safe. You just pursue it and hope. Machiavelli understood. Desperate people make terrible decisions because desperation eliminates discernment. You see what you want to see. Ignore red flags. Rationalize concerning behavior. All because you want connection to work. And that desperation for connection makes you grant emotional power immediately, because granting power creates intimacy quickly. And you want intimacy, even if it's with someone who hasn't proven they're safe. The correction: recognize your desperation. I want connection badly, which means I'm vulnerable to investing prematurely. I need to intentionally slow down and verify before investing. Reason 3. You believe withholding investment is cruel or distrustful. The third reason. You think graduated investment means you don't trust people, that you're being cold, withholding, not giving them a chance. So you invest fully and immediately to prove you're not one of those closed off or trust issues people. You pride yourself on being open, vulnerable, trusting, and you demonstrate that by giving emotional power quickly. That's investimento cum prova. Investment is proof. Investing to prove something about yourself. Not because investment is earned, but Machiavelli would say, graduated investment isn't distrust. It's wisdom. You're not assuming people are bad. You're just not assuming they're good before they've proven it. That's not cynicism. That's discernment. The correction. Reframe graduated investment. It's not withholding. It's protecting yourself until someone proves they'll protect you. That's not cruel. That's strategic wisdom. Real talk. I used to think withholding investment made me closed off. So I'd invest immediately to prove I was open and trusting. That wasn't openness. That was recklessness disguised as virtue. Real openness is, I can invest deeply, but I'll do it proportionally to what you prove you deserve. That's open and wise, not closed and fearful. Reason 4, you don't want to admit you have control. The fourth reason, admitting you control how hurt you get, means admitting you've been hurting yourself unnecessarily. That's uncomfortable. Feels like self-blame. So it's easier to believe. People hurt me. I'm victim of their behavior. I have no control. That protects you from feeling responsible for your repeated hurt. But Machiavelli understood. Negazione del controllo, denial of control, keeps you powerless. If people hurt you and you can't control it, you're permanently vulnerable. Permanently victim. That feels safe from self-blame, but creates permanent victimhood. Pause here. Go to comments. Which reason resonates most? Just the number. Reason 1 or reason 4? Understanding why you give away power is how you stop doing it. The correction. Accept the uncomfortable truth. You can't control their behavior, but you absolutely control how much power their behavior has over you. Through graduated investment, through proportional emotional vulnerability. That means, when you're deeply hurt, you participated in creating that hurt by investing prematurely. Not fault. Responsibility. Understanding that gives you power to not repeat the pattern. Those are the 4 reasons you keep getting hurt. Mistaking intensity for depth. Desperation overriding discernment. Believing graduated investment is cruel. Denying your control to avoid responsibility. Eliminate these 4, and you stop granting premature power. Stop creating your own deep hurt. Now let me show you exactly how to implement graduated investment. So how do you actually implement graduated investment? How do you protect yourself from deep hurt without becoming closed? Machiavelli's framework. Investimento per fasi. Investment by phases. 4 phases of investment matching 4 levels of proven trust. Phase 1. Minimal investment. 4 weeks early interaction. You know nothing about this person's character, only how they present initially. Investment level. Minimal. Pleasant. Friendly. But not emotionally vulnerable. Not making them important. Not giving their opinions weight. Not needing their presence. What this looks like. You enjoy interactions but don't think about them when they're absent. You're not anxiously awaiting contact. You're not making decisions based on their preferences. They're a pleasant person you're getting to know. Nothing more. Protection. If they hurt you at this phase, you're barely affected. Oh, they weren't who they presented as? Okay. Moving on. Minor disappointment. Not devastation. Phase 2. Light investment, 3 months. They've shown consistency, weeks of reliable pattern, some indication of character. Investment level. Light. You care somewhat. You're building connection, but still not dependent on them. Still maintaining emotional autonomy. What this looks like. You miss them slightly when absent. You value their opinion, but it's not determining. You're starting to trust, but not fully vulnerable. Protection. If they hurt you here, you're disappointed but not broken. I was starting to trust them. That's unfortunate. Moderate hurt. recoverable quickly. Phase 3, moderate investment, 9 months. They've shown extended pattern, months of consistency, demonstrated character through various situations. Investment level, moderate. Genuine care, meaningful connection, selective vulnerability, but still not total dependency. What this looks like: they matter to you. Their absence is felt. Their opinion is valued. But your well-being isn't dependent on them. You maintain self-sufficiency. Protection. If they hurt you here, you're significantly hurt but not destroyed. This person I trusted hurt me. That's painful. Real hurt. But structure holds. Phase 4. Full investment, 1 year. They've proven themselves over extended time. Year or more of consistent, trustworthy behavior. Earned deep trust. Investment level. Full. Deep emotional investment. Genuine vulnerability. They're important to you. What this looks like: they matter deeply. Their well-being matters. Their presence is valued. You're fully open with them. Protection. If they hurt you here, you're deeply hurt. And that's appropriate. They earned deep investment and violated it. The hurt is proportional to earned trust. That's not premature investment. That's betrayal of earned trust. Different category. That's the framework. Match investment to proven pattern. Increase as pattern proves trustworthy. Maintain lower investment until proven. Machiavelli's principle. Protezione attraverso gradualità. Protection through gradualness. You can eventually invest fully. Just do it gradually as trust is earned, not immediately based on hope. Here's Machiavelli's most ruthless lesson. You keep getting hurt because you give people emotional power before they've earned it. You invest prematurely. You make people matter before they've proven they'll honor that mattering. And then when they hurt you, which was always possible, you're devastated. Not because they have inherent power, because you gave them power. The solution isn't becoming closed. It's graduated investment. 4 phases. Match investment to proven pattern. Protect yourself until trust is earned. So here's what you do starting immediately with every person in your life. Assess. What phase is this person actually in? What have they actually proven over time? Adjust. Is your investment proportional to what they've proven? Or have you overinvested based on hope or intensity? If overinvested, pull back. Not cruelly, just practically. Match your emotional investment to their proven pattern, not your hoped-for potential. New people entering your life. Start phase 1. Minimal investment. Let them earn advancement through proven pattern. That's Machiavellian protection. Not closing your heart, protecting it until someone proves they'll honor access to it. You can still love deeply, still connect fully, still be vulnerable completely. Just do it with people who've proven they deserve it. Not with everyone who feels intense initially. Apply it. And stop being deeply hurt by people who never earned the power to hurt you deeply. Never be hurt again by never giving unearned power again.